The Atlantic slave trade, one of the most brutal and inhumane systems of forced labor in human history, spanned over 4 centuries. It involved the capture, transportation, and enslavement of millions of Africans who were forcibly taken from their homes and transported across the Atlantic Ocean, the Americas. This devastating chapter in history began in the 15th century and continued until the 19th century, leaving a long-lasting impact on both the continents of Africa, America. The transatlantic slave trade was driven by various factors, including the need for cheap labor on plantations and the desire for economic gain by European powers. However, the consequences for those who were tragically caught in its grip were immeasurable. The journey across the Atlantic, known as the Middle Passage, was a nightmare for the enslaved Africans. They were crammed into cramped and unsanitary spaces below the decks of overcrowded slave ships. Many of them were chained together, enduring unimaginable physical and emotional pain. The conditions were deplorable, with diseases such as dysentery, smallpox, and scurvy running rampant among the captives. The mortality rate during the Middle Passage was alarmingly high, with countless lives lost due to malnutrition, disease, and suicide. Upon reaching the shores of the Americas, the enslaved Africans were subjected to further cruelty and dehumanization. They were sold as chattel property to plantation owners and subjected to grueling labor in harsh conditions. Whether toiling in the sugarcane fields of Brazil, the cotton plantations of the southern United States, or the mines of the West Indies, their lives were marked by oppression, violence, and exploitation. Families were torn apart, cultural ties were severed, and any glimpse of hope or freedom was mercilessly extinguished. Resistance against the brutality of slavery was a constant presence throughout its existence. Enslaved individuals would engage in acts of defiance, rebellion, and escape, seeking freedom from their captors. From organized uprisings like the Haitian Revolution to individual acts of resistance, such as sabotage and fleeing to maroon communities, enslaved Africans fought fiercely against their oppressors. These acts of resistance served as a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit, proving that even the most dehumanized individuals could not completely subjugated. Abolitionist movements and shifting moral values eventually led to the abolition of the Atlantic slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade was officially abolished in the early 19th century, with European powers and the United States banning the importation of enslaved Africans. However, the legacy of slavery and its deep-rooted impact on societies and individuals persisted long after its formal abolition. The Atlantic slave trade remains a dark stain on human history, a reminder of the profound cruelty that can be inflicted upon fellow human beings.